Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fractured Feathered Flock, where we are once again with Dove, who has become alpha over the island and over the flock, and her mate Zabidi as they carry on trying to breed up that goose that we dream of. And our plans have kind of taken a sideways hit because Inga has been born kind of like a flamingo. And we really need to kind of bring things back, and only with one wing too, which is not good. We really do need to bring things back to having wings and to being the right color. So we want to have at least one lineage that has the domesticated white goose look that we're going for. But there are other lineages that are allowed to be a little bit more wild, like Chisel and potentially Zizi, who might end up becoming mates here in the center of the island away from the alpha's territory. The alpha bird's territory, I should say. But you guys should know all this from the previous episodes, and if you don't, you can check out the video description for a link to the playlist of our Wild Goose Chase Challenge. And you can always check the video description for a link to the ever-evolving rule set. It changes sometimes when I'm figuring out how the rules should go, as we actually play with them, for the Wild Goose Chase Challenge. But all of that said, we are going to carry on right where we left off, so let us continue. New baby? No new baby. Alright. The rains have stopped. How are our two older ladies over here? Doing good, I think. They have a couple days left to live, which is great. We'll just go ahead and feast on all of the food we can eat. They're too old to have children now, so they just should enjoy the last of their days. Dove is once again permanently perched. Well, you know what? She can build a new nest. I think she's bored of being in her nest on the ground. I'm gonna have her build a new nest up here and be able to kind of look out over the family territory while she's at it. So that's awesome. I don't know why I didn't think about that before. I think that she's gonna start a new fad that her sister would be really into as well. Meanwhile, Zizi needs to remove himself from Trossed's territory as quickly as possible. So he needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my gosh. These two are really gonna be clinging to the edges if they want to stay on this side of the island. But there's a little spot. They could make a little, oh, there's a little bridge. They could make a little territory of their own right over here. They could do it. All right. And meanwhile, Lark is going to continue to help his daughter with gathering some food, clearing away the ground as she calls forth. Oh, who was that? And tries to convince a new mate to come and join her. Was that a little one? Okay, we'll have to see who that little one was. Io over here. It's a male! But Zyros, you're blind! Oh, another dud. Another dud. He's a stray. He doesn't have anything that we are looking for. He might be taken in by one of the tribe members, but they would have to have an empty nest space. I mean, actually, Tross might choose to keep little Zyros if he can help with gathering. He can! He might be like one of the small, weaker little birds that gets invited into a group. She might go ahead and invite him in because she has an empty nest. And the rule for like wandering, the rule for like rogue babies or like wandering babies usually is that you have to have an empty spot for them. And I could, like, he's a baby. So I think she might take him in as a little abandoned baby. And he can't breed, so he might become like a ward of their group, and you can only have as many wards as you can have nest, which I just realized we need to do. So for instance, Io is a ward. Well, Io's kind of, yeah, he's kind of like family, but he's also a ward. We have 2 nests, so we could have 1, 2, 3, like a lot more nests than that. Okay, don't mind me, I'm just figuring out how to make it fair for how many animals we should be allowed in each area. You basically have to just make sure that you have a resource to support them. That's going to be what I'm saying. So you can keep as many animals in the flock after they are adults as you have food resources. Does that make sense? Don't mind me, I'll figure it out. Basically, Io is allowed in the territory as long, because he's family and he grew up, but as soon as he goes off to become mates, then he wouldn't be exactly invited back in with somebody. Like little Inga can grow up and she can be part of the family territory until she's ready to breed. Then she has to leave. But when it comes to nichelings like Zyros or perhaps Chisel or Zizi, they could stay, but they would be wards and they would use up one of our nest spots from when we had babies. That makes sense. All right, don't mind me. Just figuring out my rules as we go, friends. All right, Io, I'm gonna have you swing around. I think he might try nesting over here. That might be a good spot for him, out of the way from everybody. All right, onwards. A new baby! We have a new baby! Oh my gosh, he really is more like a flamingo. So we have Inga, and then I think we have like, what are flamingos? Oh, I need a good name for a flamingo. Hang on. Flamingo. Flamingo species. Tell me about some of these flamingo species. Andy and James's flamingo, American flamingo, greater flamingo, lesser flamingo. How about we go ahead and name you... Gosh, look at him. He can purr too, which is an interesting trait to have. I think we're gonna go ahead and name him Chili. Chili, which sounds odd, but it's after the Chilean flamingo. And then he has brown horns doubled over, but that doesn't count. So that's 1. He has 3 normal attack. So he's up to 4. He has 1 white fur, 5. 1 wing, 6, 7. So he's got 7 reputation for this tribe. Not bad, little Chile. And also I'm beginning to realize I really need that platypus beak to be unlocked, or else I'm gonna be so sad. Definitely need to unlock that. I might need to get some of the family working on that stat. But welcome, little Chile. So he has been born too. I guess we need to make sure, we'll make it easy by saying we need to have like the number of nests that we have the resources of. Which makes it kind of complicated because, well, we do have 1 nest. No, Tross, your dad passed away. Oh, that's so sad. Oh my gosh. And we can't even go and chase down the baby now because he's run off. I'm gonna let Tross go ahead and just like call out. She can crack open an oak nut apparently. But I'm gonna let her call out for more mates. And Zizi, meanwhile, still has to get out of her territory. But as he gets out of her territory, he's going to bump into the very, very edge where Chisel has begun to set up a territory. And I'm getting a little nervous about how many nichelings we have, but it should be okay. All right, finally, let's have our good old friends settle in. There we go. Robin, Fachin, it was wonderful to have both of you ladies. You had a friendship to span the ages. You came from an old island, ready to seek out a new future together. Unfortunately, you were not able to contribute any of your genes to the flock, but you were able to unlock Fishing Tail, and I admire you deeply for that. So thank you, you two, and I'm so glad that they had each other at least. Best friends to the end. Alright, meanwhile, let's pop over here. I think we really need more wings, so I made a huge mistake not having Zabidi possibly pass on wings. But let's get Dove down here. And she and Zabidi. Let's see, Zabidi, how about you say like, you're so smart to have set up a nest in the tree, my love. There we go. And Dove really liked hearing that. But let's see, so we have 1, 2, 3. I guess I'll make sure, yeah, we'll get the nest going. And however many nests you have, or how many children and or wards you can have. There, so now we can have 3, we know for sure. And we know we can have more. Chili, this is the only time you're ever going to be up in a tree, but we'll bring you down. Poor thing, he won't ever be able to fly more than that. Alright, Io? Yeah, see, like, this is in his sister's territory over here. So Dove, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's in her territory because her range is 10. She could have a 4th nest because we know this berry bush is here. We'll work on the berry bush later, though. Io, you might be super important to unlocking Platypus Beak. 50 more digs. Oof. Yeah, we're gonna have to push hard to get there. Alright, Tross, I'm getting nervous. Getting nervous. But alright, goodbye, you two. Thank you so much for everything. Oh, rest in peace, ladies. I shall miss you. Alright. Meanwhile, I kind of wonder if Zizi and Chisel are just gonna like wing it, literally, and potentially have a child with wings in the background here. Wings, fishing tail. Let's get that going in honor. Should I get that going in honor of them? I kind of feel like I should. Wings, fishing tail, maybe white fur. Should I have big nose passed on? Normal eyesight, maybe. Zizi, you have bad. Yeah, Zizi has really bad eyesight. Chisel has really bad eyesight. I'm gonna have fishing tail passed on with Chisel, and with Zizi, I'm gonna have normal eyesight passed on. And these two, I think, are just gonna take to each other. Yep. It's lifelong mateship, but they're both omegas, and they both have just some days left. So I think what we'll do is they'll kind of splash through the water, if not at the same time. There we go. Zizi, Chisel, they have become mates! Alright, so they have decided to stake their claim. They only get a territory of 3 wide, so I think if they nest right here, they can have... Well, even if they nest right there, they have 1, 2, 3 different food spots, so they could have up to 3 children at a time. Very clever indeed. Alright, meanwhile, I'm gonna have Zabidi. Oh! Yes! Nimblefingers unlocked! Zabidi shall go ahead and gather some things up. Chili shall wander around his mother. Pass on that wing. Chili, pass on that wing. And their mother is now stuck once more in a nest. Alright, Inga, you go ahead and explore. Oh yeah, we could use that as a food source too. Alright, meanwhile, Io, you'll gather as much as you can. And Tross. Oh, Tross. Who's this? Wow! Tross, good job hanging on. He's young. You'll have to wait for him to grow up. Oh my gosh, though. Look at him, guys. He's missing a paw, so I think I might just straight up give him 2 wings to pass on to his children and say that he is feather touched. But he has red horns! Holy cow! Tiarchi, I have no idea where you have come from, but welcome into the family. Like, holy cow. We'll have to wait for you to grow up. I don't know what you can offer, but this is amazing. Tross, you really held out for a good mate, and sure enough, he's young and will have to grow. But I'm super impressed. All right, so Tiarchi, which is a name submitted by one of my amazing patrons to our Nicheling name list. He has red horns, so that's 1. It doesn't double, so it's just 1 point. He naturally has 2 strength, so that's 3. He has white fur, 4. Then he's got, doesn't have web hind legs, and he doesn't have the beak. But 4 strength is better than 3. And I think he's got potential, and we're gonna say that he's gonna be feather blessed, and we're just gonna be straight up saying, pass on those freaking wings. We need the wings. So actually, Tross might have guaranteed the survival of the wings in her lineage, more so than her sister. And now Tiarchi, suddenly brought under Tross's like area, like her domain, he's gonna grow up into inheriting what will hopefully be a great domain, but they're gonna start clearing it away and preparing it as much as possible. How freaking exciting is that? Alright, everybody good? Everybody good. Any babies on the way? No babies there. Tiarchi, I think I heard a predator? Oh great, of course it's going to be the first predator of the island, and it's my poor little, poor little omegas who get faced with it. Especially right after they had their courtship dance and they bonded. These poor things! Hang in there, omegas! Hang in there! And speaking of which, really, the Nichelings will react to threats like that. Does Tross have attack? She does have attack. If she could fly over there, I think she would, but we really can't. We don't have... We might hear the yells, but we don't really have a good view of what's going on because the grass is too thick. Curses. Alright, Tiarchi, maybe you can help us. If needed, we will fly over there. We can't fly over there if we're roosting on an egg like a dove, but the others would go to help because the whole tribe reacts to threats to the tribe. They don't, like, the children are too young to help, unfortunately, Inga's finally old enough to at least help with being able to establish the family territory. We really need to do a lot of that territory establishment too. Alright, there we go. And Io just can't get there very quickly, though he might. He really is headed that direction. Oh, hang in there, you two. Oh, it went after Zizi, just 100%. Oh, but he did it. Zizi, good job. There we go. Chisel, like, she needs to sit on her egg now that she's pregnant. But Chisel, your mate is right here. I know that was, oh, that's so sad that he took so much damage. Oh my gosh, Tiarchi is already grown up? Yes. All right. We need to get them in the water for their courtship dance. All right, there we go. Now that the danger seems to have settled in the distance, they will be able to spend time speaking with one another of their dreams for the land here, and Tross might be able to share her dreams of what the future will hold. So I'm going to give her... she likes to be a little bit stronger on the attack, for sure. Let's see, does she have any, like, no horn genes? Or did she just... Yeah, she has no horns, but I want her to pass on... I would like her to pass on horns, but it doesn't seem that we've gotten enough attack, unfortunately. I think I would like her to at least pass on fishing for sure, because she seems really interested in fishing. And then maybe they might have a white furred child, which would be amazing. He has red horns, so maybe she could try passing on brown horns? Well, we're gonna have to fuss with... Those are detail genes that we'll have to fuss and tweak to get the perfect goose in the end anyway. So I'm gonna wait because I think I want her to pass on platypus beak. That's gonna be super important. So they will talk about here on the beaches. They will speak of their future together, and it's still a work in progress. Darn, no courtship from those two just yet. Still waiting on the baby over here with Dove. She's spent so much of her life pregnant, but that's just the fate of things. There we go. Zabidi is able to gather up some food. Chili, normally we don't have danger, so you should help patrol. And then Io, there we go, is going to continue to try to do his best to help. But man, I really am worried we're going to lose Waterbeak. There, we'll destroy that. We'll let Inga, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's a lot of territory to cover. So the children are going to start helping to expand the territory. Whew. Hopefully now that we can start having more kids, things might move a little easier. Baby? Baby! Oh, dang it. Once again, Zenifer, who I think we're going to rename to... let's look up a good list of bird names really quickly. Let's do... No, I want a list of birds. Just a straight up list of birds. She kind of reminds me of a little finch, to be honest. Thrush, maybe? A curlew? A swift? A rail? A sandpiper? I love birds. You know what? She does kind of remind me of a swift. So we're going to rename her to Swift. And her tribe strength, she's naturally a 2. She has brown horns, that's 3. Is just 3. Phooey, man. Man, and that platypus beak. Oh, oof. I really wish we could have more babies. Alright, well, speaking of having more babies, we can indeed have more babies. If these two... Come on, you two. There we go. He'll repair the nest. These two are on it. They're really building up a big flock. Unfortunately, it's mostly a pink flock, but we saw that coming a mile away with Zabidi as bright as he is. But alright, so let's go ahead. Ooh. Io is still very much in charge of helping out with all of the pieces of worms that he can gather. Swift will come and join her brother. Chili can help kind of at least expand the area as he ages. There we go. Meanwhile, way into the distance, where they could carve out their own little part of their territory, ZZ here and his mate will clear the territory so that they can see any danger potentially coming. There we are. And then here we have, in the waterways, hopefully performing their courtship dance, Tiarchi and Tross, who shall also help us to carry on more of this Goosey legacy. But all right, my friends, there we go. Let's get these two where they need to be. We're gonna have one up here to start clearing away some territory. Just like her sister, we're gonna have Tross go ahead and establish a nest up top. And then next time we will carry on. Zyros! Zyros has managed to wiggle his way in here. I don't think anyone would take him in though. Not over here. We already have what we need and he's kind of blind. So we would probably have to chase him out of our territory for sure. All right. Drama, family drama, flock drama, and hopefully one day the drama of a goose being born. But all right, my friends, thank you so much for joining us. If you could, do please leave a like for the struggle of our fractured feather nichelings. If you would like to join us on this and literally thousands more adventures, do please consider subscribing. But most importantly, stay curious. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.